Tens of millions of people across the world follow Andrew Tate, and with a big following comes a big responsibility, as well as a public interest in holding his views to account.
Now let's get this right the fuck out the gate. Piers Morgan, there is no responsibility in a big following. I've seen this before, and people have talked about it like, oh, well, yeah, you know, you got a lot of people listening. You're really responsible. You are not responsible at all. Because once you assume the mantle of responsibility, you then are saying that your words are now the cause of someone else's actions. And the only action that your words need to be responsible for is sending, super chat, rumble rants or whatever to me. That's what everybody's words should be responsible for, not mine. I'm saying everybody else. But you are not responsible for what other people do just because you talk. Now, certainly you can improperly wield your voice. You can use your voice for bad. That is a real thing that does exist, but it requires the intention to do so. Merely going online and stating your opinion, saying, I believe that women should be subject to their husbands or whatever. Like, if that's an opinion that Andrew Tate holds, that's fine. And if other people agree with that, that's not something you're responsible for. That's just something you believe and someone agrees with. We need to be very fucking careful because this is the road to censorship. Piers Morgan Uncensored. The idea that you have a responsibility, or more appropriately stated, a duty to someone else merely by having more people listen to you than the next person means they can regulate your speech because of an arbitrary number of listeners, views, whatever. No, that can never, ever be an acceptable position. Because once you have that position, you've conceded the regulation from the get-go, and we should not be doing that. And we should just not concede that you owe something to other people by merit of being listened to, by merit of having your ideas become popular. You don't suddenly assume more of a mantle of responsibility. And the sooner we realize that, and that might make people uncomfortable, but the sooner we realize that your responsibility exists in the exact same amount, irrespective of the amount of engagement that you get, the sooner we start to understand what baseline freedom looks like, baseline liberty. I mean, just imagine, because it's so easy to say, well, with great power comes great responsibility or whatever. With a great audience comes great responsibility. It's very easy to say this flippant, offhanded statement. The much more challenging thing to say is that your ideas, you are responsible always for your ideas, whatever those are, and your thoughts. That's the limit of your responsibility. Voicing your thoughts and ideas is freedom, is liberty. Not voicing them by any other means is tyranny. It is oppression of your right. Okay? But think of the lunatic cycle where we say someone voices their ideas, and those ideas are that's neutral. That is just a thing that happens, and it's perfectly fine. However, once 10,000 people listen, now it's not fine. The exact same idea, the exact same speech, you have now become responsible to own that or in some way, and therefore have a shackle placed upon you. Maybe it's not 10,000, maybe it's 100,000, maybe it's 1 million, maybe it's 100 million. Whatever it is, you are not more or less responsible for your own ideas and thoughts just because they might happen to become popular and or controversial. If that were the case, we would be able to shackle anyone's thoughts and speech merely by drawing attention to them. And that would be a different type of tyranny, the tyranny of the mob. That cannot be the answer. It never can. And Spider-Man has fucked us all up with this.